Hello Scorpio, my name is Tanya and I'll be doing a reading for you for the remainder of October, a mid-month update for October. This is for Scorpio. So let's see what the cards and your guides, my guides, the angels, what messages are there do you have for Scorpio for the remainder of October? What messages are there for Scorpio? Okay. Okay. So we have the Hermit, 10 of Pumpkins, 9 of Ghosts, 8 of Bats, interesting, and 3 of Bats. So let's see what I'm getting here. 10, 9, 8. It's almost like you're backsliding. There's a bit of backsliding, if that makes sense, where you're going backward. You're reverting maybe to some old behaviors or fears. Some doubts. And it may be related to something, some heartbreak or perceived heartbreak from the past that you have not fully recovered from or have not fully let go of yet. So let's see. Why am I headed there? We're starting out here with the Hermit. The Hermit is about going within, exploring your own shadows, finding your light. It's about finding the inner light. But in order to do that, you also have to look at your shadows. You need to be curious about yourself. You need to be curious about your shadows, about your inner darkness. You need to learn more about how you tick. What are your values? What is it that you really want out of life? What is valuable truly in your heart of hearts, in your soul, to you? And in this particular one, it's a very much a curious, right? It's not a fearful card, but it's experimental. So you may ask yourself just different questions. Maybe you do tarot too, so you might be doing your own readings. Or exploring some self-help books or soul transformation. For some reason that's coming through. Where you're doing some deep inner work, introspective work. And this might be where you are, where some of this stuff is coming up, because you're actively in this hermit phase, where you're really trying to understand why you react the way you do to certain things, what triggers you in certain situations, and really figure out how you find your light and follow your light in order to leave a more purpose-filled life. All right. So for some of you who do not know, I do read these intuitively over the actual meanings, or technical, if you will, technical meanings of the tarot. So some of what's coming through here is very much intuition here. Although this is a card about that inner journey, that inner exploration, about finding your light. And for some of you, it is very introspective, and there's just this churning kind of sensation of thoughts, a churning of thoughts, and trying to understand those inner demons and why are they there, and bringing light to them so that they are not scary, so that you can integrate them into your life, into your soul, and use those in a productive and positive way instead of a destructive way. Here we go. 10 of Pumpkins. This is actually a very positive card. It's the equivalent of the 10 of Pentacles. This is a card of great success. So in spite of the success you may be feeling on the outside, that people may be perceiving of you, despite the success that you're having, you still have this internal struggle, this internal like back and forth going on within you. You're not necessarily content with what you have, in spite of the fact that you are so successful, that things are going well for you. You are proud of what you've done so far, the Nine of Ghosts, of how far you've come. This is the equivalent of the Nine of Cups. You like people to see your success. You feel good when it's acknowledged. You're very proud on that front. You need to leverage that. You need to use that and bring it within and truly feel it into your soul. It is not shameful to be proud of how far you've done. It is not shameful to own that success, to in some ways boast about it, but not in a bragging way, but to be proud, to be, you don't even necessarily need to be humble about it, because you're really good at what you do. And you need to say that out loud. You know what? I am really good at what I do. Look at what I've accomplished. Look at my trophies. Look at what I have built for myself. Look at the life I have built. I am proud of what I have accomplished. You need to feel that all the way down to your soul. And I think this is saying there's this underlying, and now we're going here into the Eight of Bats, which is equivalent to the Eight of Swords. Swords are about our thoughts, not emotions, but our thoughts. And the Eight of Swords in particular is about anxiety, about fears. So there's this underlying fear or something that you have. Maybe it's about losing these things. In spite of the fact that everything is going well, it's as if you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, for some impending disaster where no one else can see anything coming. You need to let go of that, because you are in a good place. You do a great job. You are looked up to. You are admired. Don't feel bad about that. Own that. Be present with that emotion and let go of the doubts and the fears. This person is wrapped up in tissue paper, right? It's not chains. They're not fully bound. They are willfully wrapped up. They are participating in their fear. They are actively staying in that space. All they need to do is take a step, and the bounds will fall off, because it cannot hold up to that determination. It cannot hold up to exposure, right? The fear is false. The fear is trying to hold you back. You need to be able to push through it. You need to have the courage to push through it. It is never easy. Fear is there in some ways to warn us, to put a check on us. The goal here for you is to push past that, so you can take the next level up, so you can move on to the next thing that you really want to do, so that you can really honestly look at your inner shadows and identify your light and acknowledge your light. And part of what might be holding you back, excuse me, is this Three of Bats, again with the swords. So this is typically the Three of Swords. This is where you thought you were emotionally attached to a certain outcome or a certain situation, but you're not. You were tied to the idea of it. It was a logical fit. It wasn't really a heartfelt connection. So there may be something in your past that's causing you to not be satisfied with what you have and what you've accomplished, that is undermining your successes. But it's something that you're holding on to. No one else is holding on to this. You are. The other person and the other people involved have already moved on. So this may be something where you need to forgive yourself for the situation or for what happened. And that might be where you're struggling, is you feel like you don't deserve this because of something that happened here. And you do. You need to find that light. You need to find another way to look at this situation and integrate it into your success now. Would you be here now if this hadn't happened? Would you be this successful person who's had some great successes if you had not gone through this. It gives you a different way to look at life. It gives you knowledge for how to act in the future. Take the lessons learned from it and let go of the emotional attachment to it, to the fears that are attached to it. It's okay to let that stuff go. It's okay to accept yourself where you're at now and be proud of where you are and who you are. Let's see what we have on the bottom of the deck. The Six of Ghosts. So there may even be someone that you can talk to, someone from the past, someone you can bounce ideas off of, or maybe you're going online or taking a class or something like that. I'm thinking like a community class or something like that, or at a local community center, your local metaphysical shop maybe, but someplace where you can explore this part of yourself more or in a different way. See it in a different way. The Six of Ghosts, this is again another water element, is a little bit about reminiscing, about nostalgia, connecting in a way to the past, but in a gentle, accepting way. There's an equal exchange of energy. It's for you in this situation. I feel like it will help you integrate your emotions more with your logic, or to help you trust your own emotions. Maybe you're seeing this from too much of a logical way or an emotional way, one way or the other. We're giving one, either the emotions attached to it, or the excuse me, or the idea of it, the logic. So it's heavily weighted one way or the other for you, and you may need this other person who is there to give you their perspective objectively of what was happening, and you need to accept that it is their opinion and objective. So there may be someone you can trust here, or maybe you just know they'll just give it to you straight, what they thought was actually going on, what they saw happening. That might help change your perspective of what actually was going on. Let's pull an oracle card for our Scorpios for October. Let's see what we have. The Observer. I like this for you. You need to take that role with this event that happened in the past. The role of the observer. Try and flip your view of it. Try to let go of the emotions attached to it. Try to let go of your idea of what it was and look at it from somebody as if you don't know what's going on and you only see what's going on the outside, on the surface level. That is going to help you out. To step back into the role of observer and out of the role of out of the emotional attachment, out of your idea of what should have or what did happen, and try to be objective about it. And this is also going to help you here with this hermit role too, is to try to take a more objective role, to view things from a distance in a way, a different perspective of them. Yeah, definitely from that distance. You want that observation in order to, so water here does represent emotion. You want to be able to look over that. You want to be able to go past the emotions of it and look at it from an objective point of view. And it could be that you do need to look more at the facts of it rather than the emotions that you had tied to it, or even that someone else had tied to it. You want to just step back, take all the emotion out, and look at it that way. Whichever one works for you. Okay, that is what I have for Scorpio for the mid-October update. Please hit that like button, and please hit subscribe and help me grow my channel. And I hope that you are able to navigate through this and help connect to your inner light. Enjoy the journey, Scorpio.